Warning. This program may contain material of an explicit or graphic nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Broadcasting undead from the B ward, this is Post Mortem. Wait for it.
Oh my god, you're cracking shit this time.
I'm Dom.
And I'm JD, but my beer's already open. So, today we're going to bring you our top 5 aliens.
Yeah.
We need to start teasing the top 5 list at the top of the episode.
Yeah.
We don't even mention it to the end.
We should have made like a graphic for this one with like Donald Trump talking about building a wall to keep out the aliens or something.
With like flying saucers?
Yeah, exactly.
We should do that, yeah. Keep an eye out.
Hindsight is 2020.
Alright, so we're going to start you off going back for a little bit of horror news.
Horror news. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you want to start this week?
Sure.
You got 3?
I got 3.
Alright.
And one that I'm actually really, really excited about. But this isn't it, though I like this. iHorror and Game Informer have reported that Ed Boon, creator of the Mortal Kombat franchise, wants to make a fighting game based entirely on horror movie icons.
I've seen this.
He's been slowly accumulating the rights to use the likenesses of various legendary movie maniacs, Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, Predator, and the Xenomorph, and has stated that the possibility of acquiring the rights to more characters and making a full-on game is a possibility and something that he's very interested in pursuing.
Nice.
I would play the shit out of that game.
Yeah, me too. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. There's an independent fighting game that you can just get on the internet. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like it's based on some fighting engine, and like they have like claymation versions of the horror characters. And the game itself isn't.
Is it based on the Balls fighting engine? Remember Balls?
Yeah, kind of. It looks a little bit like Clay Fighter.
Fucking Balls.
But even though the game isn't very good and the controls are a little bit clunky, it's still really fun to like play Michael Myers and Chucky and Pinhead and
that's
have
cool.
all the
Fuck
moves.
Chucky though. Chucky is the most overrated horror icon.
He is, but he's fun to play in the game because he crawls people because he's smaller than them.
Yeah.
So like he'll like go for the legs and then crawl up their back and
so he's like Oddjob in GoldenEye because he's shorter.
Yeah.
To get a headshot, it throws you off.
Yeah, you got to duck down and do all that.
Yeah.
So that's sort of his advantage is that he's smaller than everyone else. I think the Leprechaun's in that game too, though. I think they're the same size.
Leprechaun is awesome. Leprechaun's so much better than
yeah.
Chucky.
The Leprechaun. I mean, if I was a betting man, I would put my money on the Leprechaun.
Lep in the hood. Come to do no good.
Come to do no good. Come to fucking whoop Chucky's ass.
Is there a name for this yet?
No. It's still just a theoretical thing. But the fact that he's putting it out there and saying I want to do this is a good sign.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully there'll be a funding or something, or he has it handled.
And I haven't played much of the new Mortal Kombat games, but I was over at Jimmy Ray's house actually and playing as Jason on Mortal Kombat.
Awesome.
And God, that was fun.
Yeah, I have my favorite Mortal Kombat is Mortal Kombat 2 on Super Nintendo. After that, 3, not to a lesser extent, but number 2.
I liked Mortal Kombat X because you could kick people in the guts and make them puke on your leg.
Yeah, I'm just not a fighting game guy. I'm a shoot shit kind of game guy. Doom all the way. So, my first bit of horror news, pretty brief, but worth talking about. Horror legend and father of the living dead, George A. Romero, is finally getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Fucking A.
At age 76. It's pretty awesome.
It's about goddamn time.
It is about time. That might be one of the first zombie movies. I know there were zombie movies before it that had to do with voodoo.
It was the first horde of zombies movie.
It was the first zombies as we know it today movie. And if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't have seen a lot of what you've seen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He pioneered an entire fucking genre.
Of the dead.
Yeah.
Of the dead. That's all you gotta say.
That's all it is.
Of the dead.
And that's him.
Yeah. and he is the man.
And he brought Tom Savini into the spotlight and really revolutionized gore effects with what came after that.
This is okay. So this is tangent style.
Okay.
George A. Romero. You ever seen that movie Up? The Pixar movie Up?
Yeah.
Doesn't he look like George A. Romero? With the thick glasses and stuff.
Up of the dead.
Up of the dead. Zombie Pixar movie. I love it.
Yeah, should happen.
Let's make it.
Get on that, Disney.
What you got next?
So, there's this actor named Javier Botet. He's got Marfan syndrome. It makes him look kind of all weird and creepy, like built. He's a physical actor. He was the creepy rotting brother in Witching and Bitching.
Okay.
And also...
Yeah, dude. He was one of the best parts of that movie. He was really funny.
Yeah, he was also in the movie Mama. He was Mama. He played several of the ghosts in Crimson Peak, and most recently played the Crooked Man in The Conjuring 2.
He's like Doug Jones' little brother.
Yeah, exactly. He's like Doug Jones' foreign deformed brother. He's been tapped to play several roles in the upcoming reboot of The Mummy, as well as in the remake of Stephen King's It, though not as It.
Yeah.
None of his roles have been divulged yet, but his presence signals a return to an interest in special effects that for creatures and actors on the big screen that actually have people.
Yeah, that's the way to go to me.
And
they can enhance it with CGI if they want, but I hate when the bad guy is all CGI.
Yeah. A lot of the ghosts in Crimson Peak looked really good because it was all Botet being creepy and weird, and then they just enhanced him digitally.
Yeah, and Doug Jones.
Yeah,
well. Yeah,
and strangely built physical actors like him and Doug Jones getting tapped for more high-profile films and getting such a huge positive audience response. This can signal a return to what we want.
Everything goes in cycles.
Yeah.
So you'll see all the CGI thing, then you'll see these breakthrough actors that are, this movie is all practical effects, and everyone's like, wow, that's amazing, when everything used to be that, you know what I mean? So it goes in cycles. I'm hoping for a return to get some big budget, great movies with all practical effects.
Get a lot of work for guys like this dude and Doug Jones.
Yeah. And people who can play that role. And not just that, too, but just the gore, you know? Tom Savini, that kind of shit, you know? That's what I like to see.
Take it back to it being an art form as opposed to just, shit it out with a computer in a few hours.
They're still doing it. You ever see that show Face Off?
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, like, they're still doing it, so it's still around. It's just these computer guys, they save money. Yeah. They save the studio money. That's what it's all about.
I follow on Facebook the Stan Winston School for Character Arts.
Yeah.
And the way they're teaching it now is practical and digital together. For a while they were doing all practical when they first started because it's Stan Winston. Yeah. And for a while they were really going to a heavy emphasis on digital, but now they're teaching it right down the middle.
That's awesome.
And that's the way it needs to be. So.
To me, it's like a video. It's almost like an animated movie. When it's a lot of CGI, it's almost like a cartoon to me. And that's the way it looks. And you can tell. And
it takes you out of it.
To me, okay, if you see, being at 31 years old, I'm not going to be too scared of things. But as a kid watching these movies with the CGI, there's no way I would be scared of that CGI shit because it's like watching a cartoon. You're not scared of a cartoon.
You know it's not real. It doesn't have any effect on
it's not real. It looks like a video game. It might look good, but it looks like a video game.
Yeah.
But the creepy, crawly creatures, things like The Fly and Cronenberg and that kind of stuff, where it's all practical, nasty effects. Yeah. That is terrifying.
And some of it, you even watch it now, and if it's good and it holds up, you're like, fuck, that looks so real.
Yeah.
Going back and watching like the Japanese guinea pig movies.
Yeah.
I recently watched another one. It wasn't good. It was called Tumbling Doll of Flesh, and it started out as like pixelated Japanese porn, and then they like kill the chick, and it goes into guinea pig level special effects. And those special effects were amazing.
We have already one planned that we're going to do Dom and JD at the movies.
Yeah.
Here today on this very episode that we've already done.
Yep.
But next time, American Guinea Pig.
Yeah, I want to check that movie out.
Guts and gore. That's a great... I watched the first 15 minutes of it. I couldn't watch it because the kids were still awake and I didn't want them seeing that kind of shit. But that's our next At the Movie segment.
People are raving about it.
Yeah, and they have the Bloodshot one already out too. So
nice.
So I already got a sequel. All right, well, sounds pretty cool. Anything else to talk about that?
No.
All right, so you talked about something good. I'm going to talk about something bad.
Okay.
I'm going to bring the negativity back to the horror.
All right, that dark cloud.
Yes, the dark cloud is looming, and it's going to touch down and rain a bunch of shit all over us right now.
Teabagged by darkness.
Teabagged by darkness and remakes.
Oh, shit.
So, director David M. Rosenthal, who has made nothing but shitty B movies and romantic comedies. has been set to direct a remake of Jacob's Ladder.
No!
What in the actual fuck?
How? Okay, Jacob's Ladder is about a Vietnam vet.
Yeah.
And, like, about things that happened in Vietnam. Like, specifically things that happened in Vietnam.
It could be a timepiece. It could be set back. Or it could be things that happened in Afghanistan or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm tired of these fuckers ruining great movies for a quick cash grab. I have an idea. These people that can be creative or come up with their own idea, you know what they should do? They should remake bad movies that had good concepts.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
There's bad movies out there that had great concepts and they missed the mark. That's what they should do.
There's a great movie called I Bury the Living. It's a fantastic fucking movie from like the late 1950s, early 1960s, but it has a shitty ending that ruins everything. Someone needs to remake that fucking movie.
Yeah, that's the
ending.
kind of shit we need. Yeah. Not Jacob's Ladder. It's an almost perfect movie.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, for sure. I mean...
Even the character, like the chiropractor guy.
Yeah.
You know,
everyone
everyone
can
nailed
replace
it.
Danny Aiello. No one can replace Tim Robbins. Even no one can replace fucking Macaulay Culkin. You know, as a little kid.
Yeah, and even the girlfriend.
Yeah, what was her name?
I don't know. She's annoying as fuck.
Jezebel. But the actresses, like...
I don't remember.
She was perfect for the part.
She's annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not going to say much more about it. We know it's going to be bad. I'll probably end up watching it. That's what...
Committing
I always say don't support
celluloid seppuku.
But, yeah, fuck. I'll watch it like with the doors locked, and if anyone asks what I'm doing, I'll say I'm beating off.
that should
Don't come in here and beating off when I'm just watching Jacob's Ladder remake.
That should be one of our segments for later shows, as opposed to Dom and JD at the movies. We call it celluloid seppuku, where we watch a movie that we know is going to be fucking terrible.
Yeah. Oh god. Like Ouija Experiment 3.
Yeah, exactly. You know, for a long time I was a little bit like, I defended remakes on the concept that like Hollywood has been remaking movies as long as movies have been around.
For sure.
How many fucking incarnations of Dracula are there?
Yeah, and Frankenstein.
But when they did it in the past, they were conceptual remakes. You know, they were taking the story and modernizing it, or taking the original characters and putting them in a different situation or something like that. Maybe bringing in elements of the original story, but it was its own story on its own.
Or remaking old black and white movies in color with good effects.
Yeah.
We have the budget now. We have the actual effects, you know.
Right.
There's no bat and string, you know, that kind of shit.
Yeah, you know, take movies that maybe necessarily weren't that good, or even were good for their time, but don't necessarily hold up real well. Like, you know, the original Dracula with Lugosi is a classic. I'm not going to shit on it too much, but it's a little boring to watch it now.
You know what? Of that era, of those movies, the one that holds up for me the most is Frankenstein.
Oh yeah,
Frankenstein is still holds up. Yeah,
and there hasn't really been a good remake of Frankenstein either. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with De Niro.
The one with Robert De Niro, I thought was all right.
Really?
No, not Robert De Niro. There's another one. Not the Robert De Niro one. There's one that was a Sci-Fi Channel movie in the 90s. No, or a TNT. It was either Sci-Fi Channel or TNT. There's a Frankenstein movie. I can't remember the name of it, but it was super disgusting and gory. Like the way he looked.
Oh yeah,
he looked like he was made of patches of flesh and shit.
Yeah, I know
he
what
was
you're
not
talking
like
about.
green and fucking ridiculous. You know what I'm talking about? I can't remember what it's called, but it was good.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Not the De Niro one. Yeah, it was, and he was this very sympathetic character, like the old school.
Yeah,
that's the best part about Frankenstein is he isn't the monster. The fucking doctor is the monster.
The Frankenstein doctor, not the monster.
Yeah.
The monster isn't the monster. The doctor is the monster.
Yeah, exactly. And the people.
Yeah,
the townspeople are the monsters.
Yeah. You know what my favorite Frankenstein is outside of Karloff is Frankenstein and Monster Squad. he was such a great character, and Monster Squad was great because like it was basically a remake of all of those movies, but it was put them all together, put them in a contemporary setting, and make something fun out of it.
Well,
there's no joy in the new remakes. It's just a cynical ass cash grab.
Yeah. Speaking of Monster Squad, Wolfman has nards. So I know you're supposed to go next with your nudes, but I'm going right into mine, and then you can do two because this is tied in.
Okay. Wolfman has nards. That's your news.
Yeah. Breaking news. No, because we talked about Frankenstein. We talked about all these things.
Yeah.
Universal. Well, Universal is remaking all the old classics. Like you said before, they're doing The Mummy with Tom Cruise.
Right.
They're now doing The Wolfman, starring the People's Champion, The Rock, as the Wolfman.
You're joking, right?
I'm not joking whatsoever. I see the look on your face.
If you smell what the wolf is cooking.
God damn it, that was my end of my news line.
Shit.
You ruined it. That was the end of my segment.
Stole your thunder.
You stole my thunder. They already have Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man. They're redoing that with Johnny Depp.
Okay.
Tom Cruise is the lead in The Mummy.
Right.
They're gonna redo Dracula. It hasn't been cast yet.
Okay.
Creature from the Black Lagoon they're redoing.
Okay. I could see that.
And Frankenstein.
Okay.
If you smell what the wolf is cooking.
If you smell.
God damn it! If you smell what the fucking wolf is cooking.
I'm the Thunder Thief.
All right. Yeah. You tell me the rest of your news.
And you're
I'm gonna predict what you're gonna say, and I'm gonna shit on it.
Okay. Cool. So. Screen Queen, Trauma veteran, and B-Movie Hall of Fame inductee Debbie Rochon is releasing her directorial debut, Model Hunger.
I got 2 words.
Derailed. Good work. So the story of this movie centers on an aging former pinup model who's been cast aside by the industry and, in search of revenge on a cold, unfeeling world, takes to murdering and cannibalizing young, beautiful women. Rochon is working with Friday the 13th composer Harry Manfredini and another trauma veteran who's been featured in about 100 horror and independent exploitation movies. Tiffany Sheepus also stars. There's a trailer online, and the snippets from it look pretty insane. The acting is way over the top. It looks like it's going to be gory as fuck. And if the solid stars and some over-the-top violence and absurdity can carry this, it stands a chance of being entertaining, I think. Plus, Rochon is no newcomer to horror. She has 250 movies under her belt.
Nice.
So she knows what she's doing, and she was brought into the business by Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah,
so.
Debbie, she's in Terra Firma.
Yeah, she's still hot. Yeah, and this whole thing is like a commentary on how Hollywood casts actresses aside once they're a certain age.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a little bit of bitterness in this. It's set for home video and on-demand release this summer, and has already made rounds at festivals. It took home Best Feature Film, Best Actress.
What you gonna do?
Damn it! It's Best Feature Film, Best Actress, Best Editing, Best Cinematography, and Goriest Film at the Fantastic Horror Fest in San Diego, and has also already won the Audience Choice Award and Best Actress at the Macabre Faire Film Festival, and the Jury Award at the Crimson Screen Horror Festival. So, this is going to be one we're looking for.
Nice.
Model Hunger, directed by Debbie Rochon.
Yeah, directing too. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah, B-movie actress, very, very famous B-movie actor. Yeah. Been in a lot of shit. So.
A lot of experience under her belt, and she's working with some experienced actors and an experienced composer, so...
That's cool. Yeah. Looking forward to it. What else you got since I did 2 in a row?
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Fire up the rockets!
Hulk Hogan.
Oh! Okay, that's enough. Still my thunder? I'm giving you 80s.
Okay. Fair.
So, we hope you enjoyed that round of 80s wrestling horror news.
Brother.
And we'll be back after a quick word from our sponsors with Dom and JD Go to the Movies. At the movies.
Hey.
Hi, thanks for listening to the Post Mortem podcast. If you want to support us, go to our website at www.postmortemshow.com and click the Amazon link.
By clicking on the Amazon banner, Amazon will give a small percentage of the purchase price of your item back to the Post Mortem podcast at no additional cost to you. That's right. It doesn't cost you any money, we get money. You want us to keep doing this? You want more Doug Jones talk? You want more dick and fart talk? I don't care. We're going to do it.
Fund our filthy, filthy habits.
Yes, and they are many, and they are vast.
And most of them aren't legal.
Yes. Click the banner. Just do it.
Come on, don't be a dick. Give us money.
Let's go down to the movies with Dom and JD, the Blood, Boobies, and Doug Jones. Psychos, monsters, bloody slashes, maniacs, and tits and asses, chainsaws, knives, and faithful bashes on Post Mortem. Let's go down to the movies with Dom and JD for some more Doug Jones.
No, Doug Jones. So before we get into the At the Movie segment, if anyone wants to offer us a recording contract.
Yeah, for sure.
We got that old timey sound that you all come to love and learn and want to be around. All All right.
We're 20 episodes deep on this show
Yes,
now.
this is episode 20.
It's like 2 decades of Post Mortem.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's craziness.
Yeah.
But here's to many more.
That's right.
As you have your Red Bull and I have my beer.
That's right. Got some
And we say
Vicodin
cheers.
coursing through my veins. Ready to go.
All right.
Ready to talk about a fucking rad movie.
We are. So this segment of At the Movies, we watched a movie that just came out.
Yep.
On demand. We didn't get a chance to see it in the theaters, although we really wanted to when we promoted it in Horror News a while back.
Yeah.
It just didn't come to the area. We didn't have time to get down to LA and see it.
It
But
was not meant to be.
2016, written and directed by Jeremy Saulnier, who made Blue Ruin and Murder Party, starring Patrick Stewart and the recently late great Anton Yelchin.
Yeah, I really like that guy.
Me too. It sucks what happened to him.
Did you see Only Lovers Left Alive?
I did not see that one.
It's a really good movie. He plays the vampire's like guitar dealer because the vampire's obsessed with old guitars. And Anton
I heard it's like a rock vampire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to see that. He also played Odd Thomas in the Gene Keys
Yeah.
adaptation. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He was in the Fright Night remake.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but he's good.
I thought it was okay. I mean, there were worse remakes, but he was good.
Anyways, R.I.P. Anton Yelchin. You will be missed.
You will be avenged.
You will be avenged. We will avenge your death. We will hunt down that car.
That's right.
Anyways, the movie is Green Room.
Green fucking room.
Green Room. It's not Blue Room like Blue Ruin.
That's right.
It's Green Room. He's going through all the color palette. Next one's going to be Red Taxi.
And then purple
Rain.
Rain. There we go.
Yellow Submarine. Yeah. So I really love Jeremy Saulnier's movies. I love Blue Ruin. It's serious. Murder Party is more of a horror comedy. I really enjoyed that as well. And this was my most anticipated movie of 2016.
Yeah, this
by
is
far
the first of his movies that I've seen, but now I definitely want to go back and see the other ones.
Oh yes. So he's delving into punk rock and killing Nazis.
Yeah.
Two of my favorite things.
Yeah. Good hobbies there.
Yeah. So starts off with a band out of gas, parked in a cornfield. They have to siphon gas to continue their tour. They're out of cash and desperate to try to complete the tour and get back home. They have no way to even fill their gas tank to get back. They're broke, completely broke. They got offered to play the show. They don't know what they're getting into. Turns out they're playing at a white power compound. Not cool.
No, not cool at all.
So they open up with Dead Kennedys, Nazi punks fuck off.
Yeah.
Which was great.
I was very, very happy about that little
Yeah.
scene. And the funny thing is, like, they start playing the chords, and at first some of the Nazi punks are, like, kind of, like, nodding their head, like, yeah, this is good. Then the lyrics kick in, and they're fucking throwing beers at him and throwing white power salutes, and the more white power salutes get thrown, the louder they say Nazi punks fuck off.
Yeah. It's funny because then they play the next song, and the Nazis are all back into it.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
You'd think they would try to jump him or something the way it was. And I actually like the sound of the band. It's not like the bullshit of like Airheads where they take like a Reagan Youth song and make it this pop bullshit. Like,
Yeah, it sounded like real punk.
It sounded like real punk. They were good. They sounded like old school punk.
Yeah,
So.
I would listen to an album of theirs.
Yeah. After the show, they get paid, ready to leave, but one of the band members forgot their phone. So someone goes to get it and realizes there's a dead body.
Knife,
Dun, dun, dun.
knife in the head.
Knife in the eye. In the eyeball. So, they try to call the cops, but are cut off and detained by the Nazis. The Nazi scum. The owner of the club, Patrick fucking Stewart, shows up.
Playing a bad guy. I don't think I've ever seen him play a bad guy before.
He did good. He was awesome.
He was so fucking menacing. Like, he never really, like, lost his shit. He was always kind of quiet and calm and just fucking scary. And then on the few occasions that he would get mad and you hear Patrick Stewart say fuck, you're like, Captain.
Captain, how could you? And you know what he kind of reminded me of is when Walt in Breaking Bad kind of comes into his own and becomes this badass.
Yeah.
And commands respect.
Yeah.
Like that. Like he's an unassuming guy,
Yeah.
but he's like, don't fuck with me, basically.
Yeah.
I am the one who knocks. You know?
He's the fucking alpha of the pack.
Yeah,
to,
for sure.
To use David Agronoff terms.
Yeah.
Read that book, by the way, last week. It was really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't listened to our last podcast, we interviewed author David Agronoff, who wrote a book similar to Green Room, but with werewolves.
Yeah.
About punks and skinheads, anti-racist skinheads, killing Nazi werewolves and Nazis. And it was very enjoyable. You should listen to episode 19 if you haven't yet. And check out Boot Boys of the Wolf Rag.
Available from Deadite Press.
And on our Amazon. Click through the banner.
Yes.
Anyways, back to Green Room.
Plug.
The gore is awesome and disturbing. The hand scene? When that first hand scene
and it's
came
all like
out,
kind of hanging loose a little bit.
Oh, dude, I loved it.
And it's the way they did the violence is my favorite way to handle violence in movies. I actually don't really like the slow kind of drawn out torture scenes.
Yeah,
I like it when violence is quick
and out of nowhere. It's like real life
and brutal, and it makes you go, oh fuck.
Yeah,
and especially like that arm scene where he's like reaching through the door and they're cutting on his arm.
Yeah,
and he pulls it back and it's all just fucking mangled. Like I actually went, oh. Like,
yeah, me too. And I did not expect it.
Yeah.
Being as we're not going to give away any spoilers, but being as who it was at the time that it happened, I was like, what the hell? No,
there was nothing to set a precedent on it either. There was no, like, other than the dead body, there was nothing extreme happened before that.
Yeah, and this movie hits you to where you don't know what's going to happen. Any character's up for grabs.
Anyone.
No one is safe in this movie.
Yeah.
Anyone on either side could die at any moment. You have no idea what's going to happen.
Yep.
And it's fucking brutal. Yeah. I loved it. And the whole thing makes you feel trapped and relate to the main characters. Like, when I was watching this movie, I felt like I was trapped.
Yeah.
Like, what would I do? I was thinking about what would I do in this scenario.
Yeah, like there's the part where they leave the green room and they go out to like try and escape, and you're like, no, don't go.
But they keep coming back.
Yeah.
They try to escape multiple times. They keep coming back to the green room. We're not going to give away a lot of plot points or any kind of spoilers because this is brand fucking new.
Yeah.
At the time of this recording, it is July 2nd. So this will come out this following Wednesday. This movie will probably be like a week old at that time.
Yeah,
something like that as far as on demand goes. And so we really want you guys to watch this movie.
Yeah, go get it.
It is fucking it's awesome. You know, it's one of the best movies I've seen, best horror movies I've seen in years.
Yeah,
you know,
it's definitely
top 10 of the last 5 years.
Definitely. Yeah. So, if we were putting it on a rating scale, I would give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree. 9 out of 10. We don't have our rating scale developed yet.
Yeah,
but we will.
Yeah. My only complaint about the movie is that they didn't give you much background on the band, and there wasn't much character development. It was just like, boom, here's a situation. I would have liked to have known more about the band and maybe their dynamic.
That's very true. Yeah, the only thing it's lacking is character development prior to what happens.
Yeah,
character develops after the inciting incident, but I'd like a little bit of backstory on these guys. I could deal with another half an hour of green room.
Oh, yeah,
I know we always talk about trim the fat.
It was a pretty short movie too. It was
standard hour 40 or an hour 30, something like that. But I could have dealt with another half an hour of backstory before they even went to the Nazi place.
For sure.
Of who these characters are.
I think for this one, they relied on the charisma of the actors to make you care about the characters. Yeah. Which still worked because they had charismatic actors with a good dynamic. So like, I'm not going to call it bad or lazy filmmaking because it wasn't by a long shot.
Not at all.
But if they didn't have those actors in place playing those roles, it would have been. Yeah. They had good actors they could fall back on, and I think maybe they knew it. So, it still stood on its own. But
yeah. And at the end of this, did you watch through all the credits and everything?
No.
There's no extra scene or anything like that, but at the end of the movie when the credits hit, it's the big takeover by the Bad Brains. Which is one of the best. Like, I love the intro and how it builds and builds and builds, and it's kind of like how this movie was. It's a perfect song for them to pick to write out the credits at the end. Yeah. And like I said, I wouldn't change anything about this movie other than I want more of it. Yeah. I'd like 20 more minutes of it to explain the characters. Yeah. And that's rare because we're saying trim the fat. Right. But in this case, I'd like to add a little fat. Add a little bit more.
Yeah, like they hinted at things like there's a girl in the band and then there's a guy in the band. And
like maybe they were together or something. Yeah.
And Anton Yelchin's character is sort of weird and kind of a little bit spacey, but like he's the one.
And he's Jewish, and they say play this. He doesn't want to play Nazi punks. Fuck off because he's scared.
Yeah, at first it's his idea, and then he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, and then they say play it, or I'm telling him you're Jewish.
Yeah.
So he plays it,
and he's sort of like the smart one of the group, but then he's also kind of spaced out. Like they have this game that they play through the whole movie about your desert island band. Yeah, and like the whole thing in the movie is like he never know, like if you're on a desert island and you can only listen to one band forever, who would it be? And he never knows. Yeah, and everyone else like they're theirs is up and changing and all that.
He definitely mans up throughout the movie. But we're not, like I said, we're not going to give a lot about a plot away. Like we said, we're going to give it. Both of us are in agreement of 9 out of 10. Yeah, since we're not doing a good movie and a bad movie this week. because we're doing at the movies, I would say 9 out of 10 of Dwayne Johnson's.
Dwayne's Johnson's. you know
Rock cocks.
You know how when with Bernie Sanders running for president, they had the whole like feel the burn thing going on. If The Rock ever runs for president, his slogan has to be "Feel the Johnson."
He actually said he wants to run for president.
Yeah, I saw that.
Feel the Johnson.
I'd support it. Shit,
the people's president.
Yeah, that's right. So since they had their desert island band, what's your desert island band?
One band I could only listen to for the rest of my life on a desert island, it would have to be Conflict.
Yeah?
Without a doubt. I can say it off the top of my head.
Yeah. Mine's Guar.
Guar? Yeah. On a desert island?
Yeah, for sure.
Conflict's catalog is so vast. They they've been playing for so long. Probably like 150 songs that
you played me a lot of their stuff, and it's really good. Yeah,
I've seen them in concert 10 times now. They're my favorite band ever. I have them tattooed on my leg. I just took my son to see them.
Yeah, I've got Guar on my arm, and Guar has a pretty big catalog. I've seen them about 10 times.
That's awesome.
Those are bands.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, this has been Dumb and JD at the movies, and we'll be back with the top 5 aliens.
Aliens.
Ooh.
Aliens. Mine's Kevin Spacey and K-Pax.
Fuck you.
I hate that movie.
God damn it. We may or may not be back.
Prepare to embark on a haunting journey to the outer reaches of consciousness. Mechanical Ghost presents Asmoria Volume 1. Stepping sideways and descending. An experiment in audio necromancy designed to stimulate your pineal gland and open your mind to a world beyond life and death. Go to www.mechanicalghost.com to purchase your copy. The Plague Doctor awaits.
With the top 5 aliens.
Right. Space aliens.
Space aliens.
Not
illegal
alien,
aliens.
right.
Fuck you, Donald Trump. We do not endorse Donald Trump here on the Post Mortem Show.
No, we do not.
So, aliens. This is a topic near and dear to your heart.
Oh, yeah.
Having been abducted multiple times.
That's right.
Probed in different ways.
My ass was never the same.
As we agreed, we are not going to include xenomorph.
That's right. So horror is my favorite genre. Sci-fi is my second favorite genre.
So horror sci-fi is your favorite.
Sci-fi is my ultimate favorite genre.
Yeah. Horror comedy is my favorite.
Yeah.
I love a funny horror movie. I love a serious horror movie too, but I like gore and laughs.
I would put horror comedy like right up there with sci-fi horror. It's just it's like two sides of a different of a coin, you know. But yeah, like movies like Event Horizon is probably one of my top 10 favorite horror movies.
Me too. Yeah,
my list of top 100 is almost done.
All right.
It'll probably be done this week.
I think it's in my 20.
Event Horizon is definitely in my top 10.
Yeah.
It's just Did you watch that video that I posted?
Did. You posted the video of that. Like I said, it's a perfect movie except for that.
Yep,
the worst movie scream ever.
Yeah, for sure. There's just no feeling, no terror, his jaw didn't even move. Oh, Sam Neill.
I would like an edit of Jurassic Park and Event Horizon to where he's going like that, on with his face on the belly of the dinosaur, going.
It's not impossible.
Sorry for ruining your ears with my. Okay, that's enough of that. So, we said no xenomorph. Xenomorph is number 0. It's better than number 1. Alien is on my top 10. Like we said, one of the best ones.
It's a perfect monster in general.
Yeah.
So it just goes without saying.
Yeah. So I'll go first since the horror sci-fi is your favorite thing.
Okay.
I'll let you close.
Okay.
And I'll go first with mine. And the tagline of this movie is, "They eat so fast you won't have time to scream." Critters.
Yep.
They're critters.
The Krites. They're my number 3.
Oh, they're your number 3?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. Oh, let's go with it now.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Since you started with it, yeah, sure. That's Say what you got to say.
Wasn't like someone was in this movie that's been in a bunch of shit. I haven't watched Critters in years.
Yeah.
I need to watch that with my kids. That's a horror movie that kids.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was one of the early horror movies that I saw because it was part of that whole animatronic monster craze that started with Gremlins.
Yeah.
But I feel like Critters sort of stood on its own, and even Critters 2 was like a decent movie because a lot of those movies after Gremlins tried to take themselves seriously, like Troll and all that shit. And you can't have that kind of movie and take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Critters is funny though.
Yeah.
It's a horror comedy. It's a horror sci-fi comedy.
Yeah. I mean, they were called the fucking Krites, you know? Yeah. I love those bounty hunters too.
Yeah.
Their faces.
That's one of the bounty hunters is who I'm talking about. I can't remember who it is, but maybe I'll pull it up on IMDb as you talk more about Critters.
That dude went on to do a lot of stuff. I think he was French or something like that. But yeah, those little fucking bastards. They just the characters, the molds looked good. The animatronics were good. They were clearly puppets, but like it didn't take you out of it. You know, it wasn't like you were watching a Muppets movie or something like that. And they all had kind of their own little personalities and stripped people's flesh off like tiny Tasmanian devils. They're just great little fucking alien creatures.
I've looked up the IMDb and I do see a lot of actors I recognize, but rather than talk about that, in the cast, the last thing in the major cast that's credited is Adolf Hitler as himself. What the hell?
The fuck? I don't remember that.
He played a critter.
I guess so. Adolf Crittler.
Adolf Crittler. That should have been our rating system. Fuck. Dwayne Johnson. What the hell? Green Room is now officially 9 out of 10 Adolf Crittlers.
Shit. That's a movie that needs to be made.
Hitler's in space. As long as they die at the end.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is the clowns in Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
That's my number 4. God damn it.
I think we're going to have a lot of crossover.
We probably are, yeah. I thought you were going more, out of the box.
Some of it is. But,
all right, let's talk about it now.
Yeah, I love the clowns. The clowns had, the movie's ridiculous.
It is. It's great. Ridiculously great.
Yeah, but they had a gimmick, and they fucking stuck to it. But the thing is, everything made sense in the context of the clowns. You know, like the cocoons made out of cotton candy and all the gags and the shadow gag and the boxing glove gag and all that. Like everything, it was like they had a culture.
The little one on the tricycle.
On the tricycle, with the bikers. They had a culture. They put thought into this. You know,
they did.
It wasn't a one.
The big tops as the fucking spaceships. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
and fucking Mooney. That douchebag. He was on my honorable mentions on the douchebags. I hate that guy. Yeah. I really do. He's one of those guys that... And we got to talking, we talk out some future lists, and I said, you know what we got to do is top 5 cops that aren't Mooney.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about cops that you like. We're just talking about top 5 cops in a horror movie, which is basically another douchebags list.
But like
douchebags part 2, the cops.
Douchebags.
Yeah, top 5 douchebags you want to die part 2, cops. Cops edition. Yeah, Killer Clowns, if you guys haven't seen it, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
I've heard that they're trying to make it into a TV show. And I don't think that's necessary. Like, Killer Clowns worked as a movie, and the gag never got old in the movie, but trying to stretch that out over episodes, like...
Yeah.
You're going to have to come up with something new, guys.
Well, like we said, what we're going to do next week, just to kind of give you guys a little teaser, next week's episode is going to be top 5 movies you wish you had a sequel.
Yeah.
And Killer Clowns was supposed to have a sequel. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
They were going to make a Killer Clowns 2, and it fell through several times, and they just never ended up making it. Damn. I want that fucking sequel nowadays.
Yeah.
I just worry that they use CGI.
Yeah.
CGI Killer Clowns would be terrible. Yeah. The good part about Killer Clowns is it's all practical.
Yeah, they're rubber monsters.
Awesome. Yeah, rubber clowns. So, all right. Well, that was my number 4. It was your number 5. So give me your number 4.
The Space Girl in Life Force.
All right. That was on my... what was it on my...
Your vampires list?
Vampires list, okay. Yeah. Naked Space Vampire.
Yeah.
Life Force is the shit.
I went back and rewatched it last night, and I forgot how fucking insane that movie was.
Yeah, I put her on my honorable mentions because I had a feeling you were going to list it. For some reason, I knew that you were going to go there, so I put it on my honorable mentions, and what can you say about Life Force?
Well, I like the idea that, like, the space vampires had come to Earth before, and that's where we got our vampire myths from, but what they actually look like were those weird, ugly bat creatures.
Yeah.
But in order to know their prey, they would get into the minds of one of them and take on an idealized form of whatever they were supposed to be. So that thing was a female bat creature, and she got into the dude's mind and pulled out his idealized version of a woman and made herself that. And in the process, like, learned Earth culture and learned English language and all that stuff. Like,
the movie's insane.
Yeah,
it is an insane movie.
Yeah, and
even
bombed
the
in box
military
office.
and everything. Yeah, it's crazy because it's such a big budget.
Yeah,
it seems like it's ultra high budget.
Yeah,
for the time.
It was. I mean, it was Tobe Hooper was flying high off of Poltergeist at the time.
Yeah,
and signed a 3-movie deal with Canon Pictures and gave us that, Invaders from Mars, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. All 3 movies bombed in the box office.
Texas Chainsaw 2 is amazing.
Yeah, and I haven't seen Invaders from Mars. I'm going to.
Yeah, I want to see it too. Based on you told me, yeah.
Yeah, I've got it waiting on my computer at home. But like, I think the thing about Tobe Hooper's post-Poltergeist movies is that, like, he was just too far ahead of his time.
Yeah,
and people watched it and they're like, "What the fuck is this madness?"
Well, the thing about Life Force is, to me, it holds up, but in a silly way.
Yeah,
but there's not enough talk about it.
Right.
It is good.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Well, it's also
completely fucking ridiculous.
It's kind of uncomfortable to watch some of it because he goes for a very psychosexual element and, like, people's desires being used against them to lure them in, you know, the whole, like, Black Widow thing. And, you know, the scene in the mental hospital where they...
Black Widow, or penis flytrap, if you will.
Penis flytrap, that's true. And that's what that thing in space was anyway.
Yeah.
But, like, there's the mental hospital scene where Patrick Stewart is the doctor at the mental hospital, and he's possessed by the vampire chick. And so Patrick Stewart is laying on the table, but the American sees the woman on the table, and he's like, get out of my head, and trying not to kiss her, but he's actually trying not to kiss Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like, I could see people seeing that in the 80s, especially, like, in more homophobic places, and being like, oh, what is this faggot
God
bullshit?
damn it, this is America.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I understand at the time why it bombed, but I'm glad that, like, it's getting things like Criterion releases on Blu-ray and Director's Cut releases.
Yeah. I want to watch it again. I have the VHS tape, so I might plug that in after.
I picked up the 2-hour Director's Cut of it.
Oh, really?
It's the new Blu-ray.
I'd be interested in borrowing that and checking it out.
That's what I watched last night, and it just adds to the insanity. It's just more madness.
I have my Blockbuster dubbed VHS tape of it.
Nice.
Still.
Nice.
From middle school.
All grainy.
There's a lot of pause scenes in that. You know, back when you could pause VHS and you could do the slow motion where it just was frame by frame?
Yeah.
That tape got its use.
Yeah.
I wonder if it would still play it, because...
It's just all worn out. It's like
pretty worn out.
It's just loose and floppy.
Young JD was a little loose and floppy for that tape as well.
The
Naked
woman,
space vampires.
The woman who played that female space vampire.
It'd be interesting. We should look her up and see what she went on to do.
She's French, and she actually went on to do a lot of things. I looked at her last night. Yeah.
Wee wee.
Wee wee.
Just like I was touching my wee wee.
That's right.
My number 3. It's a 4-way tie from the same movie. The Arachnids, the Flame Tanker, the Hoppers, and the Brain Bug from Starship Troopers. I love Starship Troopers. It's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Anyone who shits on Starship Troopers doesn't understand movies.
Yeah, the gore is so good. Yeah. And you know what? For being CGI like it is, it holds up way better than CGI of today for some reason.
It's a Paul Verhoeven movie, isn't it? Didn't he direct it?
I have no idea who directed it.
Paul Verhoeven did RoboCop, and I feel like Starship Troopers was sort of in the same vein as RoboCop.
It kind of is, like, gory and
really and cheesy, but like making a statement with its cheesiness.
And for my money, and what I remember, it's one of the first movies that had those commercials too. You know what I mean? It had been done before.
Yeah, other than RoboCop. Yeah,
which
makes me think it might be a Paul Verhoeven movie also.
Yeah. It had those fake commercials in there.
I'm gonna look that up.
Do your part as he stomps the fucking insects and everything.
The propaganda shit.
Yeah, it can still be combat effective with only so many of its limbs, you know.
Yeah.
And when it kills the cow and stuff, it's like censored, you know.
Yeah. And it's very different from the book Starship Troopers. The book Starship Troopers plays very serious.
One thing. Fuck, I didn't even know it was a book, but. Last episode we did our douchebags. Yeah. Characters you want to die.
Yeah.
I left him off the list, and he was one of the reasons I wanted to do it. Was the general, when they get to that planet, he's in the fucking cabinet and he's crazy. He's like, we're all gonna die.
Yeah,
that guy.
yeah, that guy.
Fuck that guy. Yeah.
Damn it. It is a Paul Verhoeven movie, which explains why it has the similarities to RoboCop and other things.
Yeah, it's a good watch. If you guys haven't seen Starship Troopers, you avoided it because the name is fucking terrible, and the poster is terrible, and Casper Van Dien is terrible.
You know what though? Like Casper Van Dien is terrible, but Casper Van Dien is terrible in a perfect way for the parts that he gets. Like in Modern Vampires.
Modern Vampires is awesome. Yeah. Only Modern Vampires and Starship Troopers are anything I've ever seen him in that he's worth a shit.
Did you see Dracula 3000 with him and Coolio?
No.
It was god-awful.
I never saw the Coolio Dracula.
It was god-awful, but in a hilarious way.
Dude.
And it played for laughs.
I'll raise you one. Have you seen the Coolio in The Covenant? Coolio plays a cop.
Yeah.
He plays a cop, and he has this Coolio hair, and he's like smoking weed, but he's a cop.
Yeah, and not very professional cop.
The Covenant is awesome.
Yeah,
that's a funny little horror comedy that no one's heard of.
Yeah.
You guys should check that
out.
One
of those ones that
The Covenant.
Under the radar.
Yeah, we should actually do top 5 movies that we don't think you've heard of that you need to watch before you die.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. My number 3 was Starship Troopers, Arachnids, The Tanker, The Hoppers, and The Brain Bug.
My number 3 was The Krites from Critters.
Okay.
Which we've already discussed, so we're on to number 2 now.
My number 2 are the Bad Taste aliens.
That's also mine.
Oh my god!
Specifically Lord Crumb, their leader.
Yeah, Lord Crumb. I was going with just the regular ones. Just the Bad Taste aliens.
Okay.
Chubby little guys.
Yeah.
With AK-47s.
Yeah.
So first of all, if you come from space, you should have not modern guns, right? You should have like space guns.
Yeah. Something that wouldn't pierce the hull of a spacecraft. You know.
Fuck, I love Bad Taste.
Yeah, it's a great.
Derek's don't quit.
I'm a Derek, and Derek's never quit. Peter Jackson has said that he still wants to do a sequel to that movie. He had written 3. He had written a trilogy, and he wanted to do Bad Taste. And then he wanted to do Where the Aliens Come Back for Revenge, and then he wanted to do a 3rd movie on their planet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. The House.
Yeah.
The fucking House.
Yeah.
Dude, that movie's so awesome and ridiculous and super gory. Remember when he takes the spoon and starts eating that guy's half head?
Yeah. And the whole thing is a commentary on fast food culture because, like, the aliens are just trying to turn people into hamburgers so they can have snacks. It's a fucking brilliant movie.
I used to show that to my gangster friends at my house. We used to all hang around and party, and I'd show them movies like that.
Nice.
Or Faces of Death, like in high school.
Yeah.
And what the fuck? Because they were so far from their realm and what they've ever seen,
You were the crazy white boy that could hang out with the gangsters.
Yeah. That was my role, I guess. Going to the bad kids school.
Yep.
Anyways, not sure live past events in that manner. Give me your number 2.
Lord Crumb from Bad Taste.
Also, fuck. You just said that.
We were on the same.
I need to be more professional.
Damn it.
I need to stop drinking while podcasting.
PUI, podcasting under the influence.
Yeah, the fucking Radio Society of America or whatever the fuck they're called. What's that thing that censors people?
The FCC?
FCC, yeah. Fuck the FCC, first of all.
Right.
Second of all, FCC, this is a podcast. Fuck you. I'll drink while I podcast all I want.
Fuck you in the anus, FCC. Sodomize you. Sodomize you violently.
You're number 0 on the douchebags list, FCC.
FCC.
All right. My number 1 are the aliens in They Live.
Nice. Yeah, they're on my honorable mention.
Yeah.
It's a great concept.
I love They Live, and the concept is amazing. The sunglasses thing, it's completely fucking ridiculous. Roddy Piper kills it.
Yeah.
He is the basis of Duke Nukem.
Oh, yeah.
His one-liners are amazing. Yeah. They're untouched. Only Ash is only similar to where he has similar one-liners that could hold up to Roddy Piper.
It's a shame that Roddy Piper and Bruce Campbell were never in a movie together.
Yeah.
That would have been a great
Who would be
thing.
the lead? What if one of them had to be the bad guy?
Oh, shit.
And they had a fight at the end. Roddy Piper.
I think Roddy Piper would probably be the bad guy. He has more experience with that. Yeah.
Probably put Bruce Campbell in the sleeper hole.
Yeah, probably break a coconut over his head.
Yeah. And then once he did that, Bruce Campbell would walk into a wall and keep walking because it won't fall down and push it over and be stuck in place, running in place as the wall won't fall down like Jimmy Snuka.
Yep.
Murder at Jimmy Snuka. Anyways, They Live.
Yeah, I like the idea of that movie because it's an alien invasion movie, but the invasion's already happened.
Yeah, and it's government. It has a lot to say about government and control and consumerism and all that shit. It's a deeper movie than it may seem. It's a ridiculous movie.
Yeah.
But it is deeper than... I think the concept of it is much deeper than the execution.
Right.
It is a funny, the elaborate fight scene,
that alley fight scene that's like 7 hours long.
That could be actually, if we do top 5 fights, that would be number 0.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And
all over, where are the sunglasses? I don't want to wear the sunglasses.
Put him on. Yeah, that's a great fight scene. And the whole movie itself, there is comic elements, but if you thought about it on paper and somebody told you this, like,
it's all about keeping
it's a
people
social commentary
docile and don't be creative and don't think for yourself.
It's a social commentary. Be a sheep.
Yeah.
Be a cog in the wheel that is the system. Yeah. And you know what we say? Fuck the system.
Fuck it.
Fuck the system right in its ass.
Violently in the anus. FCC.
All right, what's your number 1?
My number 1, I looked online and did a whole bunch of research to see if it had a name other than the title of the movie. And it didn't.
Is it The Thing?
It's The Thing.
Okay. I knew it would be on your list. Yeah. That's why I put on my honorable mentions. So.
It's just such a great creature. It's a great, concept. It's
Shapeshifter.
so fucking scary. And you watch the spider head scene now still, and it still holds up, and it's still shocking when it happens.
Yep. Even when he goes to do the all clear thing and it bites off his hands.
Yeah, and it opens up.
Yeah.
Yeah, such good effects.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Kind of like the alien chest burst scene was out of nowhere. If you've never seen it before, it was revolutionary at the time. And now you think about it, and it looks kind of silly.
Right.
The Thing is like that in some parts, but a lot of it holds up more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I love the whole paranoia aspect of it, of who is an alien and who isn't.
Yeah, and you don't know. Yeah, that's one thing. It's kind of like They Live, like we were talking about. Everything has a mask.
Yeah.
It could be that anything it sees, it can turn into. So.
Yep. Yeah, Wilford Brimley, I'd like to come out now.
Yeah,
and the ending where you're never quite sure if the 2 guys who survived, is one of them an alien or not. Yeah. Did you ever play the video game?
No, I didn't, but it looked good.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a PlayStation, either PlayStation or PlayStation. It was PlayStation 2, actually. And you played a crew who went into the Antarctic base to... a crew went into the Antarctic base to clean up, and they didn't report back. So you play the next crew that goes in.
You know what? That's really weird that they made that game because it's way after the movie. Like 20 years after the movie or whatever. And I want more of that. Yeah, they're making the Friday the 13th game. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, they made a Warriors game that came out almost 30 years after, and that was a great game too.
I was just going to say that. These kind of, They Live would be a good game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially because they've got like the virtual reality consoles and things like that. They Live would be a good, or that would even be a good like phone app game. You know how they're doing the virtual haunting
like
app.
That ghost one you
said? You use your phone to see where the aliens are, and like maybe like your brother's an alien.
Like your
sunglasses.
Kick his ass. Yeah. They might get sued. All right, well, on to honorable mentions after we talk about Xenomorph. I mean, you couldn't, like I said, we wouldn't put Xenomorph on our list because that's number 0. We agreed on that ahead of time, but we have to at least talk a little bit about it. Being an top 5 aliens.
Great creature.
It is, and
its ecosystem, its evolution, everything about it is fucking amazing.
Mouth within a mouth.
Yeah.
And the tension in that movie.
Yeah.
We've talked about this on a previous podcast, but the tension of Ripley going and you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know when it's going to pop out.
Yeah.
It's a stalker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that first Alien movie, for my money, it's one of my top 10 horror movies of all time.
Yep.
And that experience, I can't remember having that experience since that movie where I was in my seat with all the lights off. I was young.
Yeah.
And I was
just white-knuckling the couch.
White-knuckling the couch, yeah. And just 100% in.
Yeah.
And waiting for it to jump out and shaking,
Yeah. The whole movie. Actually, did you know that the same guy who wrote Alien wrote Life Force?
Oh, really?
Yeah, Dan O'Bannon. He actually wrote a whole fucking series of
different alien stuff.
Yeah,
huh?
cosmic horror movies. I think he was involved in Kronos and a couple other things. But Alien, the whole thing was a metaphor for rape.
Really?
Yeah. And he's talked about that in interviews since then, like all of the dick and vagina imagery and the bio, the bio
H.R. Geiger
stuff,
style,
stuff, like all that. Yeah, all of that was put in there intentionally, and specifically it was about male rape, about men being raped, which he really wanted to touch on because that was a concept that a lot of horror movies didn't touch on, and he knew that if he did it subtly and wasn't overt about it, it would creep out men in the audience more.
Yeah,
because
that's
he
true.
figured men were harder to scare than women when he wrote the movie.
Yeah.
So when he wrote it, he was like, all right, cool, we're going to touch on something that no man actually wants to talk about.
Yeah.
And by God, he fucking did it.
Little vaginal pods.
Yep.
Spitting out creatures.
Yep.
Yeah, when they first get to the foreign planet and they first walk through that area and see all that shit, it puts you in that place, and that is a weird place. It's not it looks like something out of this world, as opposed to like a lot of these movies they make about Mars, and everything's just red and it looks like sand.
Yeah.
Which that's the way it looks like in real life.
Right.
But when you look at the Alien movie, the set design,
Everything's kind of gray.
and green, and just the way things are, the walls, everything. Yeah. It's not like anything you'd ever see on Earth.
You're not sure what's alive and what isn't, or what was alive and
as
what
opposed to the Mars movies, it looks like Las Vegas in a red tint.
Right.
You know, the drive to Vegas when you go through that desert, just the red tint on it,
and clearly everything is dead. There's nothing going to jump out
Yeah,
at you.
so it's not scary at all.
And that first movie, God, the direction, the cinematography on it was so good. You could go through that movie on the DVD and pause it at any given moment, and the shot is framed perfectly, and it looks like a fucking painting.
Yeah.
Or a photograph.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
The scene. What's the old? He's still alive now. He's real old now, but he was the ship's mechanic. And he goes through the hanging chains, and there's some water dripping down, and he lets the water drip on his face before the alien gets him. You know, and just the way that whole shot is filmed up, it's a fucking work of art. And all it is a fucking dude walking around a room with a bunch of chains.
Yeah. And like we said on a previous show, I showed you that image from the upcoming Alien Covenant.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you that vibe, too.
Yeah.
Like, the way it looks like, it's almost the old school. I'm hoping that since it's a prequel to Alien, but after Prometheus, it's more back to Alien.
Right.
Yeah. Aliens, Alien 2, Aliens.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. A
lot of people think it's superior to Alien 1, which I wholeheartedly disagree with.
I like them about the same, but for different reasons. Alien is a horror movie. Aliens is an action survival movie.
Yeah. Alien is creepy as fuck and has tension. Aliens doesn't have that tension.
No.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's got a lot more creatures. It's got a lot more action.
Yeah.
Alien is a tense ride. It doesn't have a lot of action.
It was James Cameron over Ridley Scott. James
Yeah.
Cameron at the time was doing Terminator and shit like that.
Yeah.
And Ridley Scott is Ridley Scott. You know?
Yeah. So.
And you know, I liked Prometheus except for a few like super fucking stupid parts.
Yeah.
Prometheus itself was
It was too long.
Yeah.
That's like we said, trim the fat.
Yeah.
Too long.
Yeah, there was a bunch of unnecessary shit. There was, you know, she's running away from the rolling spaceship. Why can't she move to the right or left, you know?
Yeah.
But on the whole, like, I liked the movie, but I think it also showed too much.
Yeah.
There wasn't any mystery.
That's
or
why
shadow
Alien
to it.
was so good.
Yeah.
That's why it was such a great movie. Is because it was a tease.
Yeah.
The whole movie was a tease. I mean, how many times did you see the alien?
Yeah.
You didn't see it very often.
Not often. Yeah.
And until the very end when it gets really hard. So.
Last Halloween, I went to Universal Studios for Universal Halloween Horror Nights, and they have a big Alien versus Predator maze. And the very last thing that you go through is a junkyard with all these turned over cars and people laying around with face huggers on their face and like eggs and shit. And there was a 12-foot tall animatronic queen alien standing over the cars. And they usher you through it so quick. Probably because they don't want you to sit there and scrutinize it and like suddenly realize how bad the effect is.
Yeah.
But when you're there and you've got all this stuff going on around you, and it was hot in there, and they closed it in so the heat was just oppressive, and you know you got this giant fucking queen alien breathing steam out of its mouth and shit like that. And
that sounds cool.
The mouth within the mouth going in and out. It was really fucking rad to see. I just wanted to hang out in there.
Yeah.
Like, no, you gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah. Human cattle.
Yeah.
All right, so that's been our top 5 aliens. We have some honorable mentions.
Yep. I have a co 00. I'm a big fan of the Predator. The Yakuza. They have
not so much.
Yeah.
Predator 1, yes. Predator 2, as much as 1. I like Predator 2.
I love
a lot
Predator
of people
2.
shit on it. I like the whole voodoo crack dealer element, the whole Predator 2 thing. But everything beyond that, I cannot stand. I cannot stand Alien versus Predator. Yeah. I cannot stand Predators. I cannot stand any of that shit.
The first AVP I thought was funny. It was stupid as fuck. I always say it was the best romantic comedy of that year.
It hurt,
but
Alien.
Yeah,
it hurt Alien.
Yeah,
Predator is much inferior to Alien. You have to agree with that at least, right? Alien is much better than Predator. With
maybe
I love Arnold and I love Jesse the Body Ventura and all that shit, and the whole scene where the guy cuts his chest, all that stuff. It's funny, but Alien is a great movie.
Maybe it's
and
because
Predator is not that good.
I've read all the comic books too that go along with it, so I have
With the verses, you mean?
No, like there's actual like a bunch of different Predator comic books and Predator storylines. DC Dark Horse Comics put out a whole line of Predator comics, and there were a couple of books too. And it went into like the culture of the Predator. And there's actually a fully thought out like culture and hierarchy and rank system, and like they explain in the comics like where all the how you become a Predator chief, and like why the Predators go to planets and do their different things. So I think probably because I've read all of that, and I look at everything through that lens. Like I actually liked Predators, but it was because Predators, as opposed to Alien versus Predator, held true to the comic book setup.
Yeah,
and I could reference all of that and understand why everything was happening in that movie. So I would put the Predator up there with the Alien, but I wouldn't put that on my list because it's not just the movies. Well, it's the comics and everything else.
Yeah, but you're talking about the Predator versus the Alien, the actual xenomorph. But as far as a movie standpoint, the movie Alien is far superior to the Predator.
Exactly.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Predator is a cool concept, everything like that. It's a great Alien. But the actual execution, the movies, Alien and Aliens are so far beyond
out of the water.
Any Predator movie.
Yeah,
so.
In terms of movies alone, definitely blows out the water.
Not the backstory, nothing
in terms
like
of
that.
creature, I'd put them on the same level, but in terms of movies, Aliens for sure.
The casting, everything. You know, I love just the body and Arnold, but
I ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah, it's laughable. So, all right, honorable mentions. My first honorable mention are the parasites from Slither.
The space slugs, mine too.
And they take over worlds. I like that one scene. It's only one brief scene, but it shows what the parasites know and where they've been before and all the worlds they've taken over. It kind of gives them their own little backstory.
Yeah.
It's probably a 30-second clip of just a bunch of shit, and that is CGI hell.
Yeah.
But it gives a good background to the character, and I like that.
I think the creators of that movie put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah.
I think they probably wanted to make a
love
franchise out of
Slither.
it. Oh yeah, great movie, great cast, great direction,
Funny.
hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious.
And,
Michael Rooker kills it.
Yeah, gory as fuck.
He shows that he can carry a movie, and so does the girl. What's from Zack and Miri Make a Porno? What's her name?
I don't remember her name, but I know
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah,
that's her name.
I'm a big fan
of
Nathan Fillion, the guy who plays the sheriff, and he's actually the reason I went and saw that movie initially.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he was in Firefly and Serenity, and was on. He's basically like anything that Joss Whedon's done. He's been involved in it somehow, except for the Marvel.
Yeah, he does good as the sheriff,
and he's got that Bruce Campbell quality where he's really good and snappy with the one-liners, and he's the hero, but he's also kind of like a lazy douchebag,
like a flawed hero. Yeah, there's nothing better than a flawed hero except for a sympathetic villain, and that's another list we're going to talk about later. So
yeah, for sure.
Top 5 sympathetic villains. Some of these guys you got to feel sorry for. So, my second honorable mention: a lot of people forget that this is an alien. The Blob.
Yeah.
The Blob is an alien.
Okay, so I've got the Xenomorph, the Space and the Blob. It's like our honorable mentions just fucking mirror each other.
The Blob, it eats everything. It is more alien than the Xenomorph or the Predator.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not a humanoid. It's just an amorphous mass.
It's really Lovecraftian. Like, you don't even really understand its motivation other than to eat.
Exactly. It's unspeakable horror creature like H.P. Lovecraft. So I really like the Blob.
Did you ever see the movie The Stuff?
Yeah, the Stuff is awesome.
Was that an alien too? I couldn't remember if it was
an alien. I don't remember if it was an alien.
That's why it didn't make my list.
It might have been an alien, or it might have been just some creation or something. I can't remember that, but
it always kind of felt like a spiritual sister film to The Blob.
And it's also kind of like they live like a social commentary. Like they promote it like it's a thing. It's a monetary thing you buy and that everyone wants.
Yeah, it's the food that everyone, and there's commercials for it. You know, those everyone loves the stuff, and then it eats you from the inside like shitty food does in real life.
All right, then I have The Thing. Right, like I said, I put that on my honorable mentions. We talked about that. Have you ever seen the movie Dark Skies?
Yeah,
I like that. I actually, a lot of people shit on it, but the aliens, Dark Skies, I like them.
Yeah, they were creepy.
Also, another movie a lot of people shit on is Signs. I liked Signs.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan. I like alien movies, so I'm not so much of a sci-fi guy, but except for overtly alien things, I like that. So. X-Files movie, the Alien in the X-Files movie.
Oh yeah,
they go with the ice and shit. Yeah, that's a good one. All Hallows Eve, you ever seen that with Art the Clown? And it's
No, you were
anthology.
telling me about that.
Dude, you gotta see it. The second segment has an alien, and it's kind of like Predator-esque. It has like these tubes. It's like biomechanical alien thing, and it comes to this babysitter's house and basically tortures her and runs around trying to get her and stuff.
Okay.
And that's pretty sweet. I had the Predator. The Faculty, the Alien Queen and the Faculty.
The Faculty's a great movie. It's really underrated.
People talk
for
shit
what
about
it
it,
is.
yeah, but I showed that to my kids and they loved it.
The Faculty and Idle Hands, they were both sort of like the MTV generation early horror movies, and both
Faculty
of them were really good.
It's good. It holds up.
Yeah.
So, the parasite aliens that go up your butt and you gotta shit them out in Dreamcatcher.
I forgot about that. Shit.
The brain parasites from Night of the Creeps. You ever seen Night of the Creeps?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie. It's so good. So underrated. And then my last honorable mention was on your list, The Naked Space Vampire from Life.
Yep. The only other one that I've got that you didn't have was Syl from Species. And now that I went back and rewatched Life Force, I feel like, Species was them trying
It's a
to
ripoff.
Yeah, trying to
Life Force. Yeah.
modernize and make a little bit more sensible version of Life Force.
Yeah.
But Natasha
why
Hensler's running around naked.
Yeah.
Can't hate it.
You can't hate that, yeah. So, all right, well, we hope you guys have enjoyed our top 5 aliens. Join us next week when we come back with top 5 movies you wish you had a sequel.
Yep.
Movies that don't have a sequel, that aren't a prequel.
Yep.
And not that you wish the sequel was different and this is your idea. We're going to come with the top 5 movies you wish you had a sequel. In addition to that, we're going to name these movies.
Yeah.
And we're going to come up with a brief plot synopsis of our choices.
Yep. Proposed sequels.
Proposed sequel. The Post Mortem suggestions for sequels to movies that we love.
The Post Mortem suggestion box.
And in the words of The Rock, if you smell what I'm cooking... wait. What? How does it go?
If it smells like fish,
throw the fucker back.